بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praises be to Allah, peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad, his family and his companions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon you all. Tell us a little bit about yourself, sister. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I was raised Catholic, and I left the church when I was 15. And I just kind of floated around, got into reincarnation ideas, just crazy stuff. And then really the big change happened in my 40s when I just had everything you could ever imagine a human being having. I had the money and the home and the cars and the vacations every 3 months and, you know, full-time hairdresser. But I was empty. I was empty. So I started looking and I got on. I studied the Kabbalah, which is the Jewish mysticism. I studied Buddhism. But bowing to that, I couldn't do that. I never did bow to the statue. And then I got on this New Age path. And that's with the incense and the crystals and the meditation. And then I kept going deeper and deeper into it and got into the Rocky Mountain Mystery School and initiations. And it was just a wild path. But it got me to Islam, and I'll tell you. What happened was I found an energy guru from England who told me that I had to go to Egypt. I had to leave everything, basically leave it.
Was she like a fortune teller?
Oh, yes. Yeah, kind of like that. But she did energy work over the phone. I'm sure that the jinn were involved. She did energy work over the phone. And we decided to work together in workshops and all this stuff. She said, you have to go to Egypt. You have to leave everything and go to Egypt in 3 days, and I'll meet you there. So I did. I left my home, my job, everything, my hairdressing job, everything, got a backpack, packed for 8 days. I was actually there for 5 months, but never mind. And then when I got to Egypt, she didn't show up. And I was in Egypt in the airport by myself. And
so she's supposed to be going with you to Egypt.
Yeah. And she was supposed to fly in from England, and I would fly in from America, and we'd meet in the airport, and she never showed up. Wow. So there I was, not knowing the culture, the language, anything. I found someone, I talked with her, she said her brakes went out or something. So I found someone who spoke English, and they got me to a hotel, and I called her and I said, what do I need to do next? Now, this is how I came to Islam. This is a very brief version. There's a big, long book written about it. But how I came to Islam was that I called her from the hotel room and I said, what do I do? What do I need to do now? And she said, you need to go out to this place in the desert called Saqqara. And that's where the first step pyramid was ever built. It was smooth, the second pyramid, but the first one was mustabas that were stacked. And so that's the first one. And she said, you need to go and tone, you know, like Buddhist monk toning, in front of these 24 niches in the seraphim there, where the Apis bull was buried. And I was so used to that kind of instruction from her, I went, okay. So the next morning, I got an English-speaking cab driver, and he took me to Saqqara. And I told the ticket office I wanted to get into the seraphim. They said, you can't, it's closed for renovation. So there was two.
By the way, it's always closed. All these places are always closed. They don't open them for the public.
Right. Luckily, I had a connection that got me into every single one of them. Yeah. So there were two young, handsome men off to the side. They were inspectors of archaeology, I found out later. One came, heard me yelling, one came and said, it's impossible, you can't do it. The second one came, very young, very handsome, and he was mildly amused at me. Now, this is how I came to Islam eventually. He was Muslim. He became my husband 3 months later.
Mashallah.
We married in Cairo. And our 20-year anniversary is this month.
Mashallah. Did you stay in Egypt and then you came, or how did that?
Yeah, because I had to get him. That's a huge, long story, because that guru was bilking all of my money, and I was bilking all of my money. I lost around $80,000 in 5 months.
Oh my gosh.
But I got Islam, so it didn't matter.
Alhamdulillah, of course.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he became my husband, and then we went all through this crazy stuff, and I got him back to Michigan. And he said to me, you know, I don't know anybody who's put themselves through what you've put yourself through. Why don't you write a book? And I wasn't Muslim yet, but Ramadan was coming up. And so I said, I'm going to fast with you. So
you didn't become Muslim in Egypt. You became Muslim after.
No, he married me. I said I was Christian, so he could marry me. And then he said, I don't care if you ever become Muslim. I love you how you are, which was very sweet.
Oh, that's nice.
But how can you not become Muslim once you know about it, right? And, you know, so what happened was I said, okay, I'm going to fast Ramadan. And then I said, after about a week, I said, well, teach me how to pray. And then I made Shahada in my bedroom.
Allahu Akbar, mashallah.
Yeah.
So it was less than a year when you became Muslim after you went to Egypt, right?
Right, because my husband and I came back on the 1st of September 2001. Does that ring a bell? 10 days before September 11th. And so we were followed because I brought in a man from the Middle East. We were followed by the FBI, and all that was interesting. But there was nothing, you know. Mm-hmm. So then, so I became Muslim one month after September 11th.
Oh my gosh, mashallah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could not become Muslim.
And that's a very hard time for people. I mean, especially in the beginning where like everybody was against Islam and against, you know, it was Islamophobic. It was really hard time because I also came in 2002. I was Christian at that time and my family were Christian. So when we got the immigration, it was like a month before the September 11. And then we came in January 2002. So I've seen a lot of discrimination. Me as a Christian Arab at that time, I was discriminated by the Americans. So just because I am Arab. So subhanallah.
Well, my husband put it all in perspective. You know how, especially Egyptians, they know the political landscape. And he immediately when we saw the buildings fall that day, immediately he put it in perspective for me. This is what happened. So I wasn't scared. I wasn't very political. So anyway, I became Muslim and I did start that book and finish it.